Hi everyone, Linda Heldman here for Canadian Beats. I have with me the Chris Buck. It is his real name.
That is my real name.
Chris Buck.
Yes.
You have this band named after you, the Chris Buck Band.
Chris Buck Band.
And we met up last at
CCMA.
in London, CCMAs.
Yeah.
A lot's happened to you since then.
Yeah, a lot has happened. It's been exciting.
It is. For starters, you have this amazing hit on the radio right now. That's When You Know, with Kira Isabella. How did that partnership come to be?
Well, I wrote the song with my manager, producer, Jeff Johnson, and I didn't record it as a duet actually at first. The more I listened to it, I'm like, lyrically, it could work being a duet. So the first person I actually asked was Kira. I said, Kira, check out the song, and she's like, I love the song. Like, I loved it the first time I heard it. I want to sing on it. So the producer, Jeff, flew to Toronto, recorded her on the song.
Oh.
Then she flew out 2 weeks later to Vancouver and recorded the video. And obviously, like 2 weeks ago, we found out we got our first CCMA nom with the video. So
Video of the Year.
I don't know how that happened, but it did. So it's pretty cool.
People, CCMA members who vote.
Yeah.
It's so important to vote when you're a CCMA member.
Vote.
And well, we're into final ballot, and I think I can't remember
what.
what.
Me, did you?
I did my third round voting.
I'm sorry.
And
I put her on the spot. I know you're not. That's why I put her on the spot. I thought I might ask you a question.
But it's everything's fair game when you're in the final ballot.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
That is so cool.
Appreciate
So
that.
obviously you will be in Saskatoon.
I will be in Saskatoon, and I will. We are so excited.
Yeah. Do you have plans? You're performing?
We are performing at the dinner before or something like that. We're performing at one of the conferences before the show, not on actual show.
There's the industry,
gala,
there's the
gala
industry
something.
awards, and then there's the gala award.
Gala. Be the gala one.
Awesome.
For sure.
That'll be fantastic.
It will be, yeah.
That'll be great.
In front of all the industry people, not nervous at all.
We're not so bad. Now, I have to talk to you. You just recently had your very first trip down to Nashville.
I did.
Now, that seems weird for a country artist, and that's your first trip down. So how did that all come to be? How was it? What did you do?
Well, every time I wanted to go down to Nashville, something came up, like I needed a new website, or we play a lot of shows, so I was out on the road, and I've always wanted to go. And my mom knew I wanted to go, so she surprised me with an early birthday gift. She's like, I know you've been trying to go and you're so busy, you are going now, here's your ticket, you're going to Nashville. I'm tearing up a little bit because my mom did that for me, so which was pretty cool. So I went down there and I wrote with some of the biggest songwriters that have written #1 songs in the States down there, and I kind of feel that if it was good timing going down for me at that moment, because if I would have went a year ago when I wasn't that well known yet, a lot of these writers wouldn't have opened their doors to me, So I went down there and they're like, come on in, let's write some songs. And I'm like, really? You want to write with me? Cool. And so, I saw a whole new world of, just behind the scenes and writing with some great writers. So I took a lot of knowledge from those few days there.
I find Nashville just inspires so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's that energy, that very strong creative energy, and it just...
it's like you're 16 all over again and you picked up the guitar for the first time. That's kind of what it felt like, so it was cool.
Wow. Can you name any of the other writers, or is that kind of...
Well, I wrote with a couple Canadian artists, I can say. I wrote with Aaron Goodman. I wrote with Megan Patrick. I wrote with a couple other American writers down there as well, and and they're phenomenal writers. And like I said, you take so much from these people that are, a lot of artists aren't writing their own music anymore. It's and to me that's one of my passions, is writing a story that someone can relate to. And I get all these videos from That's When You Know, from Mexico and from all over the place, and they're like, we picked that as our wedding song, and I'm like, that is so unreal. And that they listen to the words that I wrote. I wrote the song for my girlfriend, so it was pretty cool. People are taking that and using it in their lives and have memories from it. And that's the most coolest part of the whole thing.
And do you find now that it's been out a while, people are singing along when you're singing it?
We played in Waterloo at a club there. It was our first kind of headline show in Ontario, because we always open for people. And I started singing it, and they were singing all the words. I'm like, this is bizarre because I'm living in Vancouver now, and I'm over here, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of festivals this summer?
Yeah, we have. My brains. We did the Calgary Stampede, which was really, really cool. We did Boot Hill down here last weekend. Where haven't we been this summer? We're actually playing the CNE September 2nd and 3rd in Toronto.
Oh,
so,
I'm down on the 1st.
Oh, we won't see each
Kissel.
other. Oh, Kissel, yeah.
Gretzky.
So,
Gretzky.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a really busy summer, and we've been doing a lot of shows out east because we're so used to playing in Alberta and BC so much. So it's nice to get over here and play in front of fans. Yeah.
So you mentioned on stage tonight. This is post the show. You mentioned on stage tonight that Giddy Up was actually taken by the Calgary Stampede to be a theme song?
Well, yeah, they made a video clip of all the artists that were performing in Nashville North, and they just Giddy Up in the background, and I was like, that's so cool.
It's a great
That's
song.
awesome. Like,
it's a great song. It's a
what
song
an
that
honor,
just is like,
you know? Yeah.
You
So
just want to be doing a
it didn't do like crazy good on the charts. Like it charted top 40. It didn't do crazy good, but underground, like we had so many views on YouTube in like 2 months on that song. They created a line dance, and people in Germany were doing it and sending videos to me, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, so it kind of is like an underground kind of popular song in Canada, and it's cool. I go to country bars and they play it all the time.
Oh, that's great.
You know, it's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're handling all this success. It's not going to your head or anything
No.
like that.
It didn't happen overnight. I've played you know, I feel like everything's kind of just been a slow process, but I appreciate things when they come a lot more because it didn't happen fast. You know, if I had a top 10 right away, you gotta follow it up, and there's a lot of pressure, and I just gradually every song's done a little better on the charts, and it's been pretty cool, and it gives you a moment to be grateful that you're involved, you know, in the process. Yeah.
Great. So obviously you were writing, so
Yeah.
there's new music somewhere on the way.
Yeah, it's coming out really fast actually. We're planning on dropping a new EP right at the beginning of next year. So
Fantastic.
my producer and is my manager as well. So you know, we're always talking and coming up with ideas, and then I get the boys to come in and play on the songs, which is cool having them involved in the production. So yeah, it's been fun. It's a fun process. Yeah.
Great. And you also write a lot with Huxley.
Actually, yeah, I've written a lot of songs with Pucks. He gets a little banjo lick going, and I just kind of roll with it, and you know, and it's he's one of the members that's really involved in the writing as well. Yeah.
The two of you, I love. I have to admit, this is the first time I've seen you perform live.
What?
Was tonight.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And it's like when I interviewed you before, I just love you.
Yeah.
Fell in love with Pucks. He's great. He's a lot of fun to photograph.
Yeah.
He actually came over. You were pointing at me and doing little things, acknowledging me, and so was he, and that's always fun. As a photographer, that part of me.
Well, I give him the green light. I'm like, you guys can be as crazy and chaotic as you want. Go for it. And he really takes advantage of it. So it's nice. Sometimes like there'll be a catwalk, and I'm like, I'm gonna walk out there, and I see him rip by. He's like, I'm going, and he runs out there. Yeah.
So I've been asking the artists that I've been interviewing this weekend, what festival must-have do you need in order to survive a festival?
What do you mean by that?
Just something that you do enough festivals, and it's just something that is a standard. It might be a certain object. It might be.
Oh, that we like. Kind of, for me. Festivals were a big adjustment because of the bar scene. First of all, the stage is a lot bigger, and you're performing to a lot more people out there. So a lot of times when I'm out there, I always try to focus on the people way in the back, like just saying, "Hey, I see you out there. I recognize you're watching." Like, you know, and just kind of bringing everyone in as a unit. Because at the beginning of the show tonight, everyone was sitting down, kind of like, "Who are these guys?" You know, because we come out with a lot of energy, right? And then I like to see, you know, the old lady get out of her chair and dance, and then eventually all of them are out of their chair, and then that's what makes me like, that's why it's worth doing it, you know, just like seeing them enjoying themselves, and that's why they come here and have a good time, right? So, yeah.
Well, good luck for
Thank
the
you.
rest of your summer.
Thank
We
you.
only have a few weeks to go, and
Yeah.
then we're off to Saskatoon for CCMA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best
see
of
you
luck.
there.
Best of luck
Yeah,
on the
thanks for having me
nomination.
on.
Thanks, hon. Great to see you.
Sounds good.
Chris Buck, Linda Heldman for Canadian People.